Welcome to Neighborful Station, Episode 37, Saturday, January 31st, 2026. You step out on your porch in the brilliant late morning light of a sunny winter day. All around you, neighbors are dragging their patio furniture off their porches and out of storage into the street, which is closed to traffic. Today is the first block party of the year in your neighborhood, and the festivities will be kicking off shortly. You listen to the crows as they comment loudly from the trees on the human activity beneath them, and you take the last bite of your spinach and cheese croissant from the French bakery, which you have warmed in your oven. The filling is salty and smooth beneath the crunch of the flaky outer shell. As you brush a tiny avalanche of crumbs from your chest, you take a satisfied breath. Larry and Mason wave to you as they walk by your house, both carrying clipboards. Larry calls out, "Hello, you! Are you ready for some frozen fun?" You squint to see them through the glare of the sun off the deep snow in your yard as you say, "Yes, I'm ready to party hardy. I'm gonna suit up and bring down my porch furniture." Mason says, "I'll come back in a minute and help you with that." Larry adds proudly, "He's our junior block captain." You tell them both, "I didn't even know we had block captains." Larry says, "We help get the permits for the block parties. We're allowed to do 10 a year, so that's what we do. One a month from February to November." Mason chimes in, "We don't do the slip and slide every time." You sweep your hand around broadly at the wintry landscape and say, "I think Mother Nature brought the slip and slide herself for this one." Another neighbor down the street beckons to Larry and Mason, and the two of them wave to you again as they head off. You walk back into your living room, where your heavy down coat, your snow pants, and your boots are waiting for you. After a few minutes of layering, you are ready to head back outside for the rest of the day. Emily is walking up to your porch as you step out the front door. She says, "Hey, can I help you bring down your furniture?" You say, "Yes, thank you," although Mason might be bummed to miss out. Emily grins up at you and says, "I'm sure there will be plenty of other heavy things for him to lift." As the two of you bring your outdoor couch to a gentle rest in the middle of the street, you take in the scene around you. At the center of your block is a circle of barbecue grills, ringed by picnic and patio tables. There are several more sitting circles elsewhere in the block, like the one you and Emily are now forming with your couch, as well as some of the patio furniture from her parents' house. The grills are already sizzling with food, and you can smell roasting corn on the breeze. You remember that you need to bring out the chestnuts that Emily and Grace gave you the other day at Claire's birthday. You feel your arm and leg muscles relax from the exertion of carrying the couch, and you take a slow breath. The rest of the day passes in a blur of delightful moments. Olivia and Mason are doing henna tattoos for kids and adults, so you get a henna snowflake on the back of your hand. The design is surprisingly intricate, and you look up at Olivia with real appreciation as you say, "This is gorgeous. Thank you so much." Olivia replies, "Yeah, of course," meeting your gaze with a warm smile. Fatima has inserted herself in the middle of the dads doing the grilling. She is holding a huge tray of chicken kebabs, and you hear her demand of Daryl, "But what is a hot dog exactly? What are they made of?" Daryl looks around him for help, but the other dads are studiously avoiding this line of questioning. You stop by the roasted corn grill a few times throughout the day, alternating between farm style, with salt, pepper, and butter, and elote style, with mayo, chili powder, and cotija cheese. You wander the block with your elote on a wooden stick, watching people share food and laughter as they relish each other's company. As day turns to night, a DJ starts spinning tunes in front of an improvised dance floor at the far end of the block. You recognize the DJ from the river beach last summer. Everyone is now wearing neon glow stick bracelets and necklaces as the elders in the crowd shimmy to the classics. Little kids run in gleeful circles around the teenagers who are gathering on the edges of the dance floor, waiting for their turn to take over. The DJ plays a slow song, which brings all the couples off the sidelines, and you spot Moose and Dia swaying together as a light snow begins to fall. You look up at the clouds that have gathered overhead, noticing that they reflect back the lights of the town in a soft haze. You feel the flakes falling on your cheeks, melting to water as you take a cleansing breath. Matthew and Grace wave shyly to you as they dance, and they both come over to you at the end of the song. Grace takes your mittened hands and squeezes them, saying, "It's so good to see you here. We just love how you have become part of the life of our neighborhood." You say, "Thank you. I still can't believe I get to live here." Matthew looks up at the night sky and says, "We're due for some more snow before this deep freeze is done with us. I reckon we'll get one more big snowstorm this coming week." Grace adds, "But we host the baked potato buffet in all weather. We're like the post office, neither snow nor rain nor gloom of night. See you next Saturday?" You say, "Oh yes, of course. I never miss it." Matthew smiles softly and says, "Neither do we." It is a delight to gather here with you. Thank you for coming home to our town. Visit us today at neighborfulstation.us, where we invite you to join us as an official town resident.
Hi, it's Casper from New York, and I'm calling to share my experience of hospitality that I got to receive in the many, many different homes while traveling with a touring choir. So I was one of 16 singers that spent 3 months on the road traveling through Italy, Switzerland, Germany, and the UK. And mostly we would stay in homestays. So friends connected to a local choir, members of a singing community, or just people who volunteer to do it would host between 1 or 5 of us singers in their home. And, I speak decent German and a little French and 3 words of Italian, but that doesn't matter because music always opens the connection between people in my experience. And wherever we went, sometimes it was luxurious, sometimes it was very simple, but nearly always we would share a meal. Nearly always we would talk or have some sort of interaction before we went to bed. And over time, I realized that at first I felt like everyone was being so generous and welcoming us. And I grew up in a home where we always had visitors and people staying, so it wasn't a foreign concept. But nonetheless, to spend 3 months on the road and every night be in someone's home is an extraordinary, generous act. But what I realized over time was that by us coming to town, we were also giving them a gift by letting them host us. That sounds maybe self-involved, but I mean it more in the sense that they got to give the gift of their generosity because we needed them. And, we would sing for our supper. Literally, we would often share a song just in their house, whether it was, just a song that I would sing or, 2 or 3 of us together would sing something from our repertoire. And that would nearly always elicit a song from our host too. And it was this wonderful exchange. And I guess that was my takeaway from this neighborly experience, even though we weren't geographic neighbors. The act of hospitality and the act of needing hospitality, of being a guest, elicited this wonderful exchange and this connection in every place that we went. And so I'm so grateful for that.